Hi, I'm Darius. Nice to meet you. I'm actually a professional photographer, but when COVID hit, I was trapped in this really cool loft of mine, but I was trapped and I didn't know what to do. So I sat on there and sometimes on here and I meditated and I meditated and I meditated. And I was really scared like a lot of other people out there. And every time I meditated, I got the same message. There are other people that could use meditation. There are other people that could use journaling. There are other people that could use community. And every time for 2 weeks straight, I was like, okay, cool. God, soul, higher self, universe, what do you want me to do? I am a photographer. How am I going to do anything with meditation? On the 15th day, this was right at the beginning of COVID. On the 15th day, I surrendered. I said, I give up. I don't know what to do. You keep giving me this whisper to do this thing. And you know what? There's nothing else to do because everything is locked down. So I might as well make a logo today. I thought on that Monday, on that 15th day, I was going to make a logo for whatever this thing was going to be. By the end of that day, I made a logo, I got a domain, I got hosting, I got a website made, I got all the copy done, I made a video, and I made my first meditation. Whoa, what the heck just happened? Something flowed through me. I'd never experienced anything quite like that before. And then I sat on this thing called Artist Morning, this meditation, journaling community for 2 more weeks until I watched this podcast with Preston Smiles and Adam Roa where Preston Smiles just like punched me in the face and said, if you call yourself spiritual and COVID happened and you're just sitting on your butt after all this spiritual training and just waiting for like divine inspiration to show up, like screw you. This is your time, spiritual humans. This is your time to shine. This is your time to share. This is your time to build community. And on that day, I put a post up on Facebook calling myself in, saying, hey, I made this thing and I think it's time I shared it. And the first Artist Morning, 1 person came. The second Artist Morning, 7 people came. And slowly it started to grow. And now we get like 70, 80, 90 people every single day. It's a free community of kind, creative people that want to meditate and journal together. And it's one of the greatest things in my life. And I'm just a photographer. What am I doing making these meditations? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing making these meditations. I've made over 150 so far. They've been listened to by tens of thousands of people across the planet. I get about 2,200 reviews on Insight Timer alone of people that are impacted by these meditations. And the reviews are some of the most meaningful things anyone has ever said to me. And I'm sharing that with you because it's just like, holy cow, when we're not ready, when we don't know what we're doing, but there's a calling whispering to us, it could be a game changer. And so I wanted to share this story with you guys, but also I wanted to share a little bit of my current process for how I make these meditations. The intention behind that is maybe someone will learn some of the things I do to help me make meditations. Maybe you'll take 2 little things and then make your own. That's really what I think will happen. No one's going to take exactly my process because this is not how things work, right? You can learn about people's processes, but you got to try things for yourself. Even Darius back then, Darius 3 years ago when I started, wouldn't want to be using my process today. So don't get overwhelmed. My process back then was very different. It was kind of like, I'm going to spend 2 weeks trying to figure out how to make a meditation, not having a clue, and I'm going to script the entire thing. That first one came through me right away, but the second one took 2 weeks to make. And so your process will be your process. Be patient with it. But I'm just going to share a little glimpse into my process of how I make these meditations today. Next month, it might change because it keeps layering on and it's iterative, which I think is really cool. But I'm going to show you how I get into the zone from the moment I wake up to the moment the meditations are shared with you guys. And I'll tell you this, it's a crazy process. People are always shocked that I actually don't know what the meditation is going to be until an hour and a half before the meditation is scheduled to be presented live and through a recording, but like there's a live audience there listening to the meditations. It has become this tremendous practice of deep trust. Just trusting if I do my rituals, my routines, my morning practice, that the universe will come through me. And sometimes it takes a lot of trust and belief because I literally have no clue. I'm like, I don't know what it's going to be this week, but here it is. And so on Friday at like 7:30, usually the download arrives. And by 8:30, I'm getting ready with all the tech stuff because by 9 a.m., I'm going to share this thing live. So it's kind of a crazy process. I don't recommend it for everyone, but I bet you there will be things in this process that you can pull and use for your own meditation creation. Okay, so with that, we're going to start where I start on Friday mornings, in the bedroom. Let's go. Hi, welcome to my bed. This is funny and weird. Normally, my beard's a little more scruffy, but you get the idea. I love sleeping. I absolutely love sleeping. And the only way I can get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is 5:30 is usually when I get up, is by creating more joy outside of the bedroom, on the other side of this door. You can't see, it's over there. Then there is joy in this bed. And there's a lot of joy in this bed because I love these pillows and I love sleeping. So I usually start slow. I give myself 30 minutes of just wake up time. Then I find one thing I am grateful for. Then I slowly get up. Sometimes my cosmic stars are still going from the night. And usually that window over there is completely dark because it's still really early. Okay, I got my one thing I'm grateful for. I give myself some time and ease to wake up. 30 minutes is my time to get out of bed. And I never have a snooze. There's no snooze. Snooze is just an excuse to lose. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it does. And then I step out into this room. Let me show you. Okay, so from the bedroom we step out and I make myself a mission. The only thing I actually have to do is push this button. That's it. Push that button. That button is the button to start the kettle. Start the kettle and everything else will happen, Darius, is what I tell myself. So we're not going to start the kettle now. We're going to stop. I don't even know how to stop this thing. Okay, I think that's how you stop it. And then you see here, I've got things already set up for myself to get myself out of bed. I set this up the night before and I'm a bit, I don't know if this is inappropriate to say this, but a bit rigid, or OCD is what I was going to say. Like everything needs to go in exactly the right spot. Okay, and I'll tell you the truth, this is usually over here, but I wanted to put it over here for you guys because it just had better light. Okay, so my blending stuff, my organic coffee stuff, my collagen, my MCT oil, right? My lemon, my salt. I make myself some lemon water. Is the first thing I have to cleanse my system. And then I get my bulletproof coffee. This is the bulletproof coffee, and then the organic salted butter. Yes, it's supposed to be unsalted, but I love the salt. And yeah, first thing, get myself caffeinated in a warm drink. But more than that, it's a ritual. Okay? The next thing I do is I get my incense going. Really important for me that the consistency is there because it helps just like, again, I'm trying to build more joy than is in my bedroom outside. So things that smell good is joy, right? Things that taste good is joy. Things that feel good, that are cleansing my system. I've got this thumper gun that just broke yesterday. My heart is broken. But I literally gently thump my entire body. Okay, let's blow that out. There you go. And then the other thing I do is I open up my heart space and my back. That's the truth. It's not just my heart, but it's my back too. And so let me show you, because it's a funny thing I do here. If I put this here, you'll be able to see. So after I've got my drinks figured out, I come over here, I get this weighted ball, I sit on this thing. You don't need to do this. You can just use the ball, but I like opening my heart, and I go back and I open. Okay, if you don't want to do that, you can just do this. For me, I believe like opening our hearts is a really important and wonderful thing to do. And so I do that, plus the thumper gun, the massage gun, whatever you want to call it, plus the deliciousness that's over here. And that's the first part. All of that, and then of course my Bluetooth headset, I get that going too because I want things that sound good. Bluetooth, noise cancellation, headphones. Okay, so all of that gets me over here. And this is my little creative altar. Okay, and you'll see for me, the important thing here is creating a space that feels attractive to the essence of creativity. These books, Liz Gilbert, Seth Godin, Rick Rubin, you know, things that have meaning for me, little me and little my partner, Oriana. And so things that have meaning to me that are representative of creativity adorn this space. My gratitude jar, like Way of the Superior Man, cards that I pull, like gems. You see, like this whole space is set up with the question, if creativity was a person, would they want to come to this space and hang out with me? You know, if creativity was a person, would they feel welcome here? I have a sacred indigenous medicine here called sage that I also burn and just like ask for energy to be cleared and energy to be recharged and refreshed. You know, it is an indigenous medicine. It should be treated with reverence, and it's very, very helpful. And then I've got a little candle that I turn on as well to start the whole process. Here is some scribbles you can see. It's just a note that reminds me the four pillars of happening to me, happening for me, happening by me, happening through me. And then I've got this prayer that's scribbled on that says, "Dear God, please use me as an instrument for your divine expression. Use me as a channel for your love." Wawa. That's a lot of stuff. Now, I do my own meditation here. Let me flip this camera. I do my own meditation in this space here. Headphones on, drinking my coffee, slowing down, usually listening to like binaural beats that calm me down. Sometimes I change it up, sometimes I don't listen to anything. On the days I make the meditation, I almost never listen to any guided anything because I don't want it to come into my head. Okay? And then what's super important for me is that before I go into using meditation to get the download, I need to actually meditate for me. Not to get something, but for me. It's like a 20, 30-minute meditation. And I just allow myself to feel what's real, what's accessible, and just be present with whatever is. And then typically at the end of my meditation, something like the whole process is just built to open space, open my heart, open my senses, open my third eye, open myself to creativity, open myself to God. And then if I've done a good job of opening, I believe something comes through me at that point. And it starts to come through me. And that's where all the meditations come. And sometimes it's like a whole paragraph. Sometimes it's just a vision. It's a visualization. Sometimes it's just a word. Sometimes it's several sentences and I write them down. And I'm not attached to any of them. I just let them like, okay, cool. What's here? Because sometimes I'm too attached to getting that to come across that it prevents me from seeing something else that's being birthed by the time I get upstairs to my actual desk to record these. And so fully present, fully committed, but not attached to anything is really important. And I wouldn't recommend doing the time sensitivity of this because like sometimes I don't have the thing until 7:30. And why that's important is like by 9 o'clock and 1 second, there will be 70, 80, 90 people on Zoom waiting to get the new meditation. So it's like something about that limitation of time focuses me. But the first time I did this, I definitely would not have made a 90-minute container. I made a 2-week container, and then over the years, I've got it to be smaller and smaller. So I want to say that if you're new, give yourself plenty of time, but not too much time either. Too much time and like creativity just puddles out. Too little time and creativity gets stuck. You need structure, the right amount of structure based on where you are in your creative journey. For me right now, the right amount of structure is very small and it allows me to channel something through very quickly. Okay, so let's go upstairs and I'll show you the last part of how I make these meditations. Okay, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk upstairs. Here we are. That was us downstairs. Boom, boom, boom. Bedroom was over there. Then we walked in there. Got the senses activated, got the ball going. Then did our little meditation thing. And then we came up here. And here's the station. Here is the station. So, now at this time, like I said, it's probably like 7:30. 7:30 in the morning. I'm feeling really good. I've got the genesis of something. So, let me log into this thing. Okay, so, first thing I do is I gotta get the music, figure out the music. And because I've been doing this for a while, I don't know if you can see this, but I use this website called Artlist, artlist.io. And in my collections, I have organized these based off of date, okay? So you don't really need to see all this, but I've got a lot of songs that I've already picked. And I usually start there, and then I download them, and it's a paid website. You gotta pay, so it's totally legal. And then I bring all that stuff into here. Into Adobe Audition, And I've placed the music already, and I've picked what goes first, and I've blended it together. And I'm probably, if you're interested, I can make a separate video on the tech stuff, because that's a whole other topic, and it's too much for this one video. And I can show you like technically how I make these videos, or these meditations from a music standpoint. And then, before I hit record, I get my sage, sacred indigenous medicine again to cleanse. I put it over my eyes, my nose, my mouth. I put it over the mic over here. I put it over the space, and just to bless the space and to create a positive energy vortex. And then the last thing I do before I hit record is I go to that artist prayer again. This one's really become like a clutch thing. I'll play it for you because it's helpful. Let's see If I need to turn the sound, no, it's ready. Here we go.
Dear God, please use me as a vessel for your divine expression. Use me as an instrument of your love. Give me the courage to go into the depths of my heart and find my truth, and the courage to speak my truth in my own authentic voice. Whatever happens from there, I let go and let God.
Okay, so that's that. Then I get my butt here, and usually it's over there, you can't see it, but I have a little clothes hanger and I put a blanket here to block off the sounds of the highway, which you can see over there. You know, this is not an ideal recording place, but because I know the right mic and I know the right settings and I know my voice and I've got the right mixer stuff. Again, I think I might make a video for the tech stuff because it's a lot of tech stuff. I know what I can get away with. And then in terms of like audio, and then I start recording. Okay. So there's so much more I can say about the recording, but usually I finish recording and I finish editing all this stuff with like minutes left before Artist Morning starts. And it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So let me turn this camera around. Okay, I feel like that was the fastest video I've ever made. Maybe I went too fast. Or maybe I went the perfect speed. There was just so much to cover. And there's so much more I can say, but maybe I saved that for a part 2. Let me know if you're interested in a part 2. I love talking about my creative process. I love sharing all this stuff. I know at least I think 10 people have made meditations that come to Artist Morning just being inspired by me telling the behind the scenes story of this. And that's a part of my intention, to share these stories, to inspire other people who might be on the fence, who might be like, I'm not a professional meditation person. Who am I to make this? You know, and as long as you're honest and transparent with it, you're not pretending to be someone you're not, which is, I've never done that with the meditations. I think it's totally fine to create something and share it with the world. And so that's a little bit of how I've been making these meditations. I can't wait to continue making these. Every week I get so excited to make them, and I don't know. It's Tuesday now. I have no idea what Friday's meditation is going to be, and I probably won't know till 90 minutes before all of you guys show up for the live. Thanks for listening. And if you're interested, if you've never come to Artist Morning, check it out, artistmorning.com. Everybody is welcome. Happens 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. You can't make it, you can catch the recording. I share the Facebook group for people who want to catch the recording. And yeah, if there's other stuff you guys want to see on this channel, let me know. I love hearing from you. And I take your suggestions real serious. Okay. See everybody. Bye.